Good afternoon and good evening to everyone. It is now 5:30. We want to call our board meeting, the board mayor and alderman into session for our July 9th, 2024 meeting. We are now in session. First thing is, it's always in order to have a word of prayer. Alderman Pugh, we should oblige us, please. May we bow.
Heavenly Father, we come before you, dear God. Dear God, we honor you, dear God. Only we know how to this evening, dear God. We ask you and we just ask you to be with us on today, dear God. Lead and guide us to make the right decision for the city, dear God. Dear God, we also thank you for this wonderful day that you blessed us with, dear God. Dear God, we ask you to look up on our fellow alderman, dear God, as he lay at home sickly, dear God. We ask you to just touch his body, heal his soul, dear God, and just touch him right now, dear God. In your son, Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. May we stand for pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Alderman Pugh. You want to make sure we keep Alderman Taylor in your prayers this evening. He's not well, but he is at home in recovery. The next thing on our agenda for the evening is approval of minutes from our regular June 11th meeting, followed by item number 4, which would be the approval of the minutes from our June 25th meeting. At this time, I'd like to hear any questions concerning on the June 11th meeting from my alderman. Okay, at this time, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the June 11th minutes. Do I hear a motion? Move. Do I hear a second? Been moved and properly second. Any questions or concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor, let it know by the sign of aye. 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 Those opposed, nay. Okay. All right, so then we have our special call board meeting, June 25th. We can look at that, that's where we approved everything for our budget and the certified tax rate. Are there any questions or comments from the alderman before we call for the vote? Okay, hearing none at this time, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the minutes. Do I hear a motion? Motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Been moved and properly second. Are there any questions, corrections, or concerns? Hearing none, we'll call for a vote. All those in favor, let it know by the sign of aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Okay. Now we get to the good part. We have to, tonight, we have to render the oath of, for our Alderman Bishop and Alderman Taylor. Alderman Taylor's not here, but he said he'd be at our next meeting. And I also wanted to, just a bit of housekeeping. We do have some new technology here, so we're trying it out with this camera. All our board meetings have been recorded and available to you on YouTube under the city of Brownsville. So this is a new technology we're trying. In case you wonder what this is, it records and films the entire room, and we'll get to the public comments part. People ask people to come to the podium, and it will record you as well. So that's what that it is. In case you're wondering. At this time, Alderman Bishop, would you stand, please? You raise your right hand. I solemnly affirm that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
and I will obey
and I will obey
the laws of the United States
the laws of the United States
and the state of Tennessee.
and the state of Tennessee.
That I will,
That I will,
in all respects,
in all respects,
observe the provisions
observe the provisions
of the Charter
of the Charter
and the ordinances
and the ordinances
of the city of Brownsville.
of the city of Brownsville.
And I will faithfully
That I will faithfully
discharge the duties of the office
discharge the duties of the office
of Alderman.
of Alderman.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I paused because I was gonna say your name. Because the way I'm reading it, it should have been the first, but we all know who the bishop is. We all know, you know what I'm saying? But we're official. Congratulations on serving another term. Thank you for your service. I'm gonna tell you something about being an elected official in a small community. It's not for everybody. So we appreciate your willingness to serve. You served our country as a colonel of the National Guard, and now you're serving our community as Alderman and the library board and anything you need. So we appreciate it. It's not a small undertaking. Next on our agenda, we have an action item for the pool repair. What we've been presented is a quote from the pool from Parks and Recs. This proposal has been approved by the county in their meeting, their budget committee meeting last night. I see Director Johnson here. I know there's been some discussion. You want to come forward, Director Johnson, just maybe give us a little brief overview of what this is? It's pretty cut and dry where we are. There's Total amount of repairs here from the quote is $372,476. The insurance is claim is gonna pay $220,000, leaving a balance of $152,476. When you divide that in half, the city's amount will be $76,238, and the county's $76,238. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I guess from the auditor, any questions, concerns, or anything you might want to present to us? I know we've been working on this for the last 2 summers. We tried to find a quote to replace, and now you have a quote to repair.
Yes.
Um,
Well, what we did, first of all, trying to, locate a company to be able to replace the whole entire pool because we thought it was in non-repair. As we sent out the bid and the quotes out to get some bids and quotes, we didn't have anybody who would want to take on the project from what they saw from Google Maps, from the Google Earth. And, one company came up to replace the whole entire pool with the additions of some of the things that we desired, to keep up with, the different pools in the water. Fun things like splash pads and things to add on to it. It was around $1.4 million, which that was a bit much, as what we could afford to pay from a county and city standpoint. So we continued, and as I went to the conferences, got a chance to talk with a lot of outfitters and companies that actually did pools. One of my colleagues introduced me to the company that we now was talking with, and just so happened he'd been in business for 25 years, and those 25 years is to restore pools. And so he'd been in that business for 25 years of restoration. So just so happened when we crossed paths and crossed conversation, he was located at that time in Memphis, Tennessee, finishing up a pool in Memphis, and he stopped by to place his, physical eyes on what our pool was. And so, and he gave me some hopes then, to say, hey, this pool can be, I think we can save it. Looking at it at first, we felt like that it wasn't, salvageable, and then we want to see how we're going to, be able to replace it all, and then with the additional. I then called, a special meeting with both mayors, as well as some of my board members, to discuss the issue that we had, just to make sure that we were going in the right path, to be able to provide this recreation for our community, which is a staple in our community, especially in the summertime. That's pretty much the only thing that our children has to play with. So with that being said, we just pursued in trying to get detailed information of what it's going to cost, and then when he gave me back the cost, I then emailed it to the city as well as the county to be able to look over it. Then the Pat Harcourt with A2H, he said, hey, that looks like a go from an engineering standpoint, and so we are now at this point now to see how can we get it move the needle forward, so we can get this construction on the way, so we can at least have recreation by the summer of next year, if it's all possible.
Okay, thank you. And I did see the confirmation that you taken from Pat Core Engineers to make sure this was in order. At this time, I'd like to, are there any questions, concerns from all the officers like to do before we call for motion? Okay.
If it's approved, when will they start working on it?
Well, that's gonna be basically about how I staffing right now. So when it's approved, then he can actually give me that. I can give you that information through email, or either I can call you, individually, just to let you know when construction is expected to start, as well as the estimated time of completion.
Just another question, I appreciate the 2 visits today and the conversations we had today. I enjoyed those, and I trust that obviously we'll get the best price, and follow all the purchasing guidelines, that's set forth by the county, I'm sure. I just would ask that you keep in mind, if you had anybody else interested, if it, take a look at them, if it's not too late.
As I shared with you today, I went local, and as local as I could. First of all, I spoke with Joe Barton. Joe Barton came out and he looked at the surface where the concrete surface has split. He said that if that was all that would need to be repaired, he could do that work. However, when we had the fire department to come out to fill our pool up, the level dropped within 24 hours. And so we knew that it was some plumbing issues, maybe that, Barton Construction didn't wanna, tag along. So I then began to start calling, Aloha Pools, Hawaiian Pools, as well as Brewer Pools, who put the, waterfall there. They came down and looked at it. Aloha said they just wanted to stick strictly with residential. That was a much bigger project than they wanted to tackle, because we didn't know as they go into it, how deep it's going to be. And so they didn't want to tie up all of their resources in trying to get this once they started. So they didn't want to mess with it. Brewer Pool did the same way, as well as the Hawaiian Pool, company there in Jackson. So Brewer Pool is out of Memphis. And then this was the only outfit that actually gave me the bid, the initial bid of 1.4. And then also, they also came back and gave me a bid with repair based upon what they said, put their physical eyes on versus what they saw on Google, on the Google Earth map.
Okay. At this time, I'd like to, entertain a motion to approve the funding request of the pool not to exceed the $372,476. That way, if you have a lower bid, we're good.
Absolutely.
I think that's decent order. At this time, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the funding request not to exceed this amount. Do I hear a motion?
Motion.
Do I hear a second?
Yeah.
It's been moved, properly second. Any questions or concerns? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote. All those in favor, let it know by the sign of aye. Those opposed, nay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 7, is a property rezoning request for Grand and King Avenues. I see Ms. Campbell's here. Mr. Merrill, you can come forward, please. This is the second reading. The city of Brownsville has 2 guidelines in terms of implementing the vision and the compliance. Those are resolutions, there are action items, and then there are ordinances that become law. And the ordinances, we have 2 readings. On the second reading, we have opportunity for the community to have any public comments regarding that particular ordinance. Go ahead, Mr. Merrill, with our city planner, go ahead and make your presentation.
Yes,
Thank you,
sir. Thank you, Mayor, and great evening, everybody. Basically, we have this rezoning ordinance, before us at the moment. And this is concerning property located on South Grand Avenue, tax parcel 23, Haywood County tax map, 75. It's owned by the Bond family. Basically, it's dually zoned now. It has 2 zoning designations, one being the portion that fronts along South Grand Avenue is zoned restricted industrial, but the main portion is R2. We thought it'd be better to go ahead and rezone this whole parcel into one particular district. And right now, the ordinance is rezoning the subject property to R2 medium density residential, which makes sense. And so there's a proposed development for the subject property. So it's all of make the vision going forward clearer, and by having one zoning designation. And so y'all have any other questions at this particular time, feel free to ask.
I will say that this received a favorable recommendation from the planning commission as always, before it gets to us. We did pass it on the first reading. At this time, I'd like to close out our session and go into our public comment session. At this time, we'd like to hear any comments or concerns concerning ordinance number 1020 on the second reading from the community. Okay, hearing none, we'll close back out our public session and go back into session. At this time, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 1020 on the second reading. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
So moved. Do I hear a second? It's been moved and properly second. All the questions concerned from the audience. Hearing none, we'll call for the vote. All in favor, let it know by the sign of aye. Those opposed, nay. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I guess you can keep your place.
Yes, sir.
Ordinance number 1021, it's a land use plan on the second reading. I know we've been in session with the planning commission, and there might be some concerns about some additional.
Yes, sir, Mayor. That's a perfect segue. Right, this is a resolution to adopt the Haywood Next land use plan that was prepared by LRK. But we're gonna ask you respectfully if we table this ordinance at the moment due to some recent developments at the most recent planning commission concerning some proposed developments along Anderson Avenue as well as Windrow Road. And I think the planning commission is, I think you all have heard the news commentary on these proposals and things of that nature. More opinions than news, but however, the thing to that is, and I mean that in jest and fun, but at any rate, it's gonna be an interesting conversation regarding one of the proposals on Thursday at 4 o'clock at the Justice Center. But with saying that, the planning commission has agreed to host basically a plan amendment on the August 22nd meeting. And so it makes no sense for us to adopt the plan as is when the planning commission is possibly entertaining possible amendments to what has already been adopted. So in order to make sense and to be clear moving forward, I think it'd be best, if you will, if we'll just hold off adopting this ordinance until we see what the planning commission ultimately wind up recommending to us and adopting. So I just think that makes sense and to keep all confusion down at this particular time.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I fully agree. I like the idea that the planning commission is hosting a public, it's not a hearing, but a public commentary session on Thursday, 4 o'clock at CJC. And then they'll come back in session to see what amendments can be made. So at this time, I'd like to entertain a motion to we table up ordinance number 1021 on the second reading. Do I hear a motion?
Hey, Mr. Mayor, before that, instead of tabling it, let's just postpone it.
Okay, postpone it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think
All
that'd be
Thank you,
Thank you. I mean, that's fine. Let's postpone it until we get more of different recommendation from the planning commission. Thank you, Mr. Banks. Do I hear a motion to postpone ordinance number 1021? Motion, I hear a motion from Alderman Flagg. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Been moved and properly second. Any questions, concerns? Hearing none, we'll call for vote. All in favor, let it know by the sign of aye. Those opposed, no. Okay, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Now we have ordinance number 1023 on the first reading. This is a stormwater management. It's just some housekeeping that has to be put in order. Caleb, you want to come forward and give some brief description of what it is? We didn't have anything on the books for stormwater management, but this is what Caleb has come up with in terms of what we have to be adapted. You know, when we do construction, we have SWIFT permits and things of that nature. But I always look at stormwater management as an unfunded mandate. We're required by the state to have engineers report, do an annual report to do compliance, but there's no funding available. Of course, we don't charge the citizens, but that's just my little soapbox.
So pretty much, it's literally just updating our old ordinance or our old stormwater ordinance. The state makes you do it every so often. I think it's every 7 years. The only thing that's literally different from our old one to the new one is post-construction runoff. We have to do extra inspections after post-construction, and then there's a few definitions added for clarification. But besides that, it's pretty much the same ordinance.
All right, so we doing some housekeeping. That's what we have. Our planning department consists of Dylan, who's not here from code, Caleb, and Steele is our building inspector, and we have a planner. So we're doing some cleaning up, and so I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
At this time, I'd like to entertain a motion that we're adopt ordinance number 1023 on the first reading.
So moved.
Do I hear a motion moved? Do I hear a second? Been moved and properly second. All of those, any questions or concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor, let it know by the sign of aye. Those opposed, nay. The ordinance number 1023 passes on first reading. Ordinance 1024 to rename Morgan Street to Westlake Way on the first reading. Attorney Banks, you want to give us a little background on that?
Yeah, well, the city board voted on this last month at the meeting, and I wasn't prepared with an actual ordinance, which is what is needed to change the street name, so prepared one, and we just need to go through the process of the 2 readings, 2 votes, and get it passed that way.
Okay, thank you. At this time, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 1024 on the first reading. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
So moved. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All right, we moved to proper second. Any questions or concerns from the audience? That's long withdrawal, man. You look good. All right, are there any questions, concerns from the audience? Okay, hearing none, we'll call the vote, all in favor of all in favor of ordinance number 1024 on the first reading, let it know by the sign of aye. Those opposed, nay. Okay. Nay? Yes, we got one. I vote aye. All right, resolution number 1063, fire department recognition. Teddy, chief, y'all wanna come up? You know, I wanna see you. Come on up here, Teddy. These are once again part of our public safety for the community. What this is just a recognition of the fire department as the Brownsville Fire Department, because you know, we now have the Haywood County Fire Department with Chief Feathers. What this does, we still will respond to all the calls in the county, based on our contract, that we have with the counties, the interlocal agreement we have. But this designation, changes us and gives us the opportunity to be a standalone department. And it's after the county decided they wanted to have a fire department, of course, we couldn't no longer be the Brownsville Haywood Fire Department. Chief?
Yes, now when I started in 1990, we were the Brownsville Fire Department. Over the years, and we designated the state every 3 years, it's changed back and forth from Brownsville Fire Department to Brownsville Haywood County. It was who was filling out the paperwork and turning it in. But in the state's eyes, that's what we're recognized at right now, the Brownsville Haywood County Fire Department. And in doing that, when ISO comes in here and grades us next, we will lose our 3 ISO ratings in the city if we do not change back to being just Brownsville. If you look at the map right now, there's not a designation of our city limits on the Haywood County map at the state fire marshal's office. It's all just Haywood County, and that's how they recognize us. So if they come in and grade us, they're gonna grade us with the city and with the county, and we will lose our 3. So this is just getting us back to where we started, Brownsville, getting us designated with the state, how we are. So when ISO comes in, it protects the citizens' ISO rating, which affects your homeowner's insurance. So that's the reason we're doing this. We need to get it done, and that's what this resolution is gonna take care of.
I see Fitzgerald nine.
Yeah.
All right, are there any questions, concerns from the audience?
Hey, just a question.
Yes, sir.
So the impacts on Haywood County, on the people outside the city of Brownsville, there are gonna be some pretty significant impacts. on them?
I don't anticipate that much because we're still gonna respond to the county as long as the county wants to keep doing business with us. We never merged as one department. The Haywood County asked us to take care of their fire service, so that's what it was. And we still do that currently under the current local agreement we have. Unless they change that, then we'll still respond to the county like we always have. This is just like clerical errors, cleaning this up to getting us designated how we need to be.
Okay, any other questions, concerns? Okay, at this time, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve resolution number 1063. Do I hear a motion? Motion, do I hear a second?
Second.
Been moved and properly second. Any questions, concerns from the audience? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote. All in favor, let it know by the sign of aye. Those opposed, nay. Okay, thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Resolution number 1064, purchase of a van purchase for the animal shelter. We were able to get a grant for the purchase of this particular vehicle. Of course, they are hard to come by. There's a timeline on when we need to spend the money. The purchase of this van is no match. There's nothing involved. It's $55,471.63. If I'm not mistaken, we already have the money in the account. We need to just make sure this is the animal shelter personnel found this particular vehicle. Because we were looking with Chevy, Ford, Dodge, never could not find anyone. So they found this on the state contract. So we'll be making the purchase of this van if it's approved tonight. At this time, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve or resolution number 1064, the purchase of the van. Do I hear a motion? So moved. Do I hear a second? It's been moved and properly second. Any questions, concerns? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote. All in favor, let it know by the sign of aye. Those opposed, nay. Okay, resolution passes. Roadblock, Good Neighbor Night, Main Street. Mr. Tom Moore, can you give us a brief explanation of your permit request?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, Main Street is requesting a roadblock permit for August the 1st at the AMP from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And basically, it's our annual Good Neighbor Night. We'll have food, we'll have games, bouncy houses. Of course, we'll keep the houses on the asphalt. We also have school supplies and also going to have some copy paper for teachers. So going to hopefully make it about teachers as well as students, because teachers need supplies as well as students. So that's basically what we're going to be doing, from 6 to 8.
Okay, and you said this is gonna be at the end, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, we appreciate it, and I see your certificate of insurance. Just, this is a matter of reference for everybody. When we do have events and acts, we passed the ordinance, resolution some time ago. If you're good to go. We're gonna automatically block those streets anytime there's been at the amp. We passed a cover-all resolution because of safety. So we appreciate you coming forward and telling us about it, but there's no
Yeah.
harm in doubling down on your paperwork.
Yeah, and I think that's great on closing the street.
Yes, sir.
It makes it a lot better.
Yes, sir. Okay. All right, at this time, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the roadblock permit for Main Street. Do I hear a motion? So moved. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Been moved and properly second. You presented the property insurance. Any questions, concerns, and all? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote. All those in favor, let it known by the sign of aye. Those opposed, nay. Okay, your permit is approved.
Thank you.
Community Development Report, Ms. Krista Matthews.
Good afternoon. Are there any questions regarding the community development report?
Yes, Ms. Matthews, there is a question. You got one outstanding. Go ahead.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Ms. Alderman, Vice Mayor.
You have an update on Mercer Road? I do not have an update on Mercer Road. I emailed them and they have not got back with me yet. Give me that number. I got you. I do have an update on Hatcher Street.
Well, there you go. That's my question.
The environmental review, it has been completed and will be submitted to the state on July the 12th. Once we get approval back from the state, the plans and spec will be submitted for approval, and then that's when the ball will start rolling on that,
We are pushing very hard
on Hatcher.
on the hatch, and we're seeing more movement now in the CDBG grant. The goal, and we're pushing for, get it done in this paving season. It's just the worst street in Brownsville. People want to see it paved. We got the money allocated now, but I'm seeing more movement, on it. So I'm more optimistic than I was. Any other questions for this man?
Yeah, any more questions?
Okay, you got two, all right. All right, thank you. Next, we have the financial manager report from Ms. Sherry Bass, our city clerk.
Any questions concerning the finances for the month of June? In the month of June, if we spent 70% of our budget for the last fiscal year. Final numbers have not been set up yet. I'm still trying to close out the month and the year, so. But right now, we almost spent 70% of our budget, so.
Outstanding. Thank you to the department heads and Ms. Bass and to everybody for holding the line. All right, any questions for Ms. Bass? Hearing none, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the financial management report. Do I hear a motion? Motion, do I hear a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Are there any questions concerning? On all, hearing none, we will call for the vote. All in favor, let it know by the sign of aye. Those opposed, nay. Mayor's report, I keep it simple, short, and sweet tonight. We went to the TCAT ribbon cutting. It was an amazing facility, 120,000 square feet of space, operational bays where they have all the robotics, festo equipment, and welding, automotive. They have everything in tool and die in that space. All the computers, I know you work in that arena, but this is a state of the art, super duper impressive space for growth. We celebrate our bicentennial, but this is gonna spearhead what the next 200 years look like for our young people, for opportunities to work, and stay, and learn, and be certified here, right here at the Stanton campus. Integrate annual Delta Regional Collaboration Conference. Ms. Emma and Crystal were part of this program through the Delta Regional Authority, through the drive. It's a pilot program that reaches out to smaller communities like us and smaller, Actually, population wise, we were one of some larger communities there. But they completed this program, working on the project, to get a planning grant to help us move forward with some projects we want to move here. Great networking throughout the Delta region, and thank you, both of you, Ms. Emma, thank you, Ms. Emma, and thank you for Crystal for not only providing the resources, but creating a network and a gateway for funding. That's the beautiful part about this program, this funding on the other end of the DRA. The Juneteenth breakfast was great. Pastor Morango was our speaker. He did a wonderful job. It was very well attended, probably close to 100 people. And just a great celebration of Juneteenth. And thank you for all that came out. United Way, we had a celebration breakfast. There I am with Matthew Marshall. Tech Apex was recognized, the City of Brownsville recognized, in collaboration with our partners through United Way. So that's always a good event, a good breakfast, and we just celebrate the partners through United Way. I continue to serve on the board. United Way working very hard to bring those resources to Haven County. The Tennessee Certified Developer Program. I'm just a recent graduate of the program, but I was asked to come back to be a part of a panel discussion about workforce. Lena was in attendance in that particular workshop, in that training, exactly, certified training. And it was good to just do some networking and talk, have some real conversations about what we're doing. So I'm still going out and trying to bring the resources, continue to network and let people know what we're doing in Brownsville and just trying to bring some common sense to some complicated situations. We honored our heroes in our annual Independence Day celebration there with the police department, and then with the fire department. There was an honor roll call of all those who serve in public service, and thank you. Could you gentlemen stand, please? Did you hear? Police department, fire department. Let's give them a round of applause. I talk about being an elected official, not an easy job. You don't have one either. We see public safety becoming more and more of a concern in our community, whether it be, I talked to Mary Matisse the other day, they had a pit bull that mauled a lady and killed her. They had a freaknik melee that got way out of control on a private gathering in a private property. Public safety is more and more rising to be an issue in our small communities, but thank you for the work that you do, and being not only reactive, but being proactive when we have these gatherings. Chief Evans has a good eye and good ear for the community, so we've seen some of these gatherings get posted on social media, and we've been able to hit them off because they see a problem about to occur. And earlier during the year, the spring, there was a gathering, there was a car that came through, they had some suspects in it from a neighboring community with loaded rifles and no lights on, and they were apprehended before anything could ever happen. So thank you, that's important. We did the Bicentennial Storefront Contest. We see our first place winner, Fairway Mortgage, which is, we all know what they do there, Cry Like Real Estate, and then the Forky Deal. So we're able to give them trophies and then celebrate them in their storefront celebrations. So that's part of our heritage small town deal. We still support. Thank you. Couple quick things. I attended along with some local mayors. We attended a TVA work session in Jackson at the Energy Authority, where the CEO TVA came out and really broke down what the future looks like for TVA and how it trickles down to us. We had an Invest Prep site visit. Some of the people may have thought it was an industry visit, but it's actually we're applying for the Invest Prep grant once again, and for the Outboard Advantage Park. So they came down and we got to look at the park and talk about the issues. We also addressed the walking trail and how we relocate that in the future. So everything was inclusive and it was a very good visit. I already showed you the workshop that I did with the Tennessee Economic Community Development. Then our bicentennial celebrations are coming up with a car show July the 20th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Memorial Football Stadium. And then, of course, I know this flag has a back to school bash, and we talked about the celebration. Okay, that concludes my report. We'll move on to Alderman reports. Alderman Peters.
Yes, I attended my board meeting with Parks and Rec. As you know, our director already covered. That was one of our main topics, was swimming pool. Also went down to the Scott Street Community Center where I took a couple of my students. They had a theme of It's Electric, and we got down there and we got a chance to give the kids some hands-on things, and they hooked up switches and lights. It was really exciting for them. Other than that, I ain't even too busy.
Okay. Alderman Bishop.
No report.
All right. Alderman Flagg.
Good evening.
I'd like to first thank Ms. Bachelor and her entire staff in this office for the hard work they've done this year. I've been around for a long time. It's been a long time since I've been able to say that we didn't have a meeting 2 or 3 times a month trying to prepare a budget. Ms. Bachelor, thank you for all your hard work that you done. Okay, we're going. Get ready to have some fun. Back to school bash. It's gonna be July the 23rd at the Ann Marks Theater from 5 to 7:30. We're gonna change up some this year. We're gonna have a fashion show inside of the theater. After that, we're gonna have cookout for the children and the parents, and then we'll visit back at 5. So please come out and support the children. I don't know, it's quite a few people here that I see, but thank you so much for how you contribute for the back to school bags. I've not had one person yet to contribute, and they said no. And when I called them, they want to know what you want and how many you need, and they actually brought them to me. So if you see anyone that you know of that contribute, thank them for it. Of course, I'm gonna thank them personally myself, but I have really had very, very, very good support from them. So it's for the children. So it's for the children, but I want some parents to come out and just fellowship with the children. It's a good fellowship. So please come out and support the children on 23rd. And it sounds like a long way off, but it's not. National Night Out is scheduled for September the 17th. So if you would like to take part in National Night Out, I'll have some phones and a flyer to tell you exactly what you need to bring during National Night Out. So it's gonna be at the same place, Eastside School. It's gonna be a big affair. It's a lot of different things. It's gonna be improved this year that we are next. So we're still in bicentennials mode. So we're gonna take that on with us and back the National Night Out in bicentennial. So please come and let us know if you have anything that you would like to take part in, that in the National Night Out. Let me know. Thank you.
Okay, what time is the back to school bash again, Ms. Flagg?
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock, college. Okay, departmental reports. Do we have any departments that might need to make a report tonight? Okay, I know you got summer jams coming up. We got the, back to school bash. We have the car show on the 20th. Summer jams will be that weekend, the 18th, the 19th, 20th, and 21st. So we have a lot of events coming up, right in at the end of July, and on into September. We'll be back in school pretty soon. I did have our opportunity. I did go to the Scott Street Center and look at the STEM programs. I think that was really good. It's an annual program. I also had the opportunity to go out to this new field house on yesterday. They spent quite a bit of money renovating the field house and supporting the young men to play football for Hayward High. It had been years coming. It's a really amazing improvement. So that was very positive. At this time, item number 19, are there any public comments that were required by law? I'll offer you 2 minutes to speak on anything that was on tonight's agenda. Are there any comments from the community? Okay, hearing none. At this time, I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn. Do I hear a motion? Do I hear a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor, let know by the sign of aye. You really want it? Let's get them going. Thank y'all.